welcome back to the X-Ring. I hope you guys enjoyed that video of Caracol and their facilities in the United Arab Emirates. I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. And then also, big shout out to my Patreon members. If you ever want to support the channel, guys, you can go to the link at the very end of the channel, and every penny goes to supporting the channel, and I do appreciate it. So, ever since I was a kid, I was always fascinated by suppressors, so much so I almost got in trouble with them at a young age. We're not going to talk about that, but either way, there's something that just always fascinated me. And one of the things I always wanted to add to the collection was an integrally suppressed rifle. And, you know, the cost was just so expensive back in the day, and they were very rudimentary. And, you know, I always saw the AWCs. I think they really had the biggest following and one of the first commercial companies to actually do that. You did have some other companies that were doing it, but literally it was piecemeal stuff. And it wasn't until recently I started seeing some affordable, integrally suppressed suppressors by a company called AB Suppressors. I've talked about them before, and I actually reviewed this rifle here, which has the MELB-P. And MELB-P stands for Mission Enhanced Little Bird, and it's for the Ruger Precision Rimfire. However, they also make just the plain MELB, and this is for the Ruger 1022. And I'm really fascinated by these because it retains its accuracy. They actually shoot better than the factory rifles when you put them in, or typically speaking, that's what I've seen. They do use an ER Shaw match barrel. Now, you do have a shortened barrel in here. Basically, you have a barrel that's been cut down to about 10 to 12 inches or so. I don't know the exact measurement. You know that this channel's not about providing all of that. But it does have an internal baffle system that is removable. And what's unique is even with a lot of neglect, you can still get those baffles out. They are basically shaped like a tap, so they will cut the carbon out of there. So I've got both of these, and big shout out to AB Suppressors for allowing me to review these. They are just super awesome if you're gonna, you know, be out in the woods or anything else and you just don't want to wear ear pro, and it's just a clean look. Now, I know a lot of you guys might say, well, why wouldn't I just go ahead and spend $200 on a single can and I can put it on multiple 22s? And I do get it. However, if you're a stamp collector like I am, and you just want something that's really, really clean, I mean, it is really hard to beat this. This was actually just a factory 1022 that I'd gotten many years ago. I put the Magpul 1022 stock on here. I think it was like the Hunter X22, which I'm really impressed with what Magpul did with this, because they make provisions for a bull barrel or a thinner barrel with an insert in here. It still retains its full free-floating capability, and the stock just looks good. You do have an adjustable length of pull, and it just works well. And on this, you know, the Ruger Precision Rimfire, it is a great rifle as well. I do have this one topped off with the Night Force 4-16, and I have the 1022 topped off with the Bushnell Match Pro, which I reviewed recently. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to show you some of the features, and then I'm just going to put it out at 50 yards, and we're going to shoot pasties at 50 yards. For the ammunition, I'm just going to grab some Lapua, the super long range. We're just going to see what kind of groups it does. And hopefully both of these rifles can hold a little small 1-inch pasty at 50 yards. You know, I've seen a lot of factory guns, especially with some reviews here lately, that just won't do that at 50 yards. And I'd like to see if that will work with these MELB suppressors. I have been using these for, geez, probably a year now, and the 1022 is the latest one, but I am really, really impressed with it. So enough talking, let's go ahead and get these on paper at 50 yards. So I'm getting ready to head out to Las Vegas for the USN show, and I was trying to get this video out yesterday, and we just gotten a tremendous amount of rain here in the East Coast. So I wanted to get this video out. I'm starting to lose a lot of light. I do have the Allen scope system up there on my spotter, so you guys should be able to see this. So what we're going to do is we'll do a 5-shot group using the Ruger RPR rimfire, and then also we are shooting Lapua super long range. Big shout out to Kenneth E. He was able to send me some so I could try it out, and we're going to go for the top left target. I don't know if it's going to be zeroed in, but we're looking for group here, group size. Here we go. I haven't shot anything, so you might get a cold bore shift, but keep that in mind, guys. Oh yeah. I want you to listen to how quiet it is, guys. And I did hit some steel in the background. All right, I think that's 5, not bad. I need to bring the group down about 2/10, and then we'll go right 1/10, and we'll shoot another group right behind that. And we'll just see how it does. You know, one of the things about putting suppressors on is, you know, we know that they can affect accuracy. You guys know how I feel about that. But to have something that's for hunting that's this quiet, guys, I mean, it is literally, it sounds like an air rifle from back in the day, not these high-powered pneumatic ones. Here we go. We'll go for the next one. There you go, guys. So not bad at all, even with that integrally suppressor system from AB. I mean, it works really, really well. That's a pretty good group. I would take that at 50 yards. That's better than, I think it was actually shooting with the factory barrel. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over to that Ruger 1022. Dang, I didn't even think about how much I'm representing Ruger right now. These were not sent to me by Ruger, by the way. So let's go ahead and just shoot the same ammunition and see how she does. I really like the integrally suppressed firearms. They look so clean. I don't have some appendage hanging off of the end. And in order to do it, yes, you do have to pay the $200 tax stamp, and it is kind of married to that gun. But installation on both of these rifles is super quick and simple. And when I say super quick and simple, I literally mean you can probably do the 1022 in about 20 minutes tops, and then the RPR probably about 30 minutes tops. It's literally just loosen it, put the new one in, and you are in business. All right, so we might have a cold bore shift with this one as well. We're gonna go for the next row down. And keep in mind, it's a semi-automatic. Maybe. Not bad at all. Not at 50 yards, I'll take that. All right, we'll do 5 more shots. I could probably slow it down a little and try to get you a little bit better group, but I just wanted to do this before it got dark, and I don't want to lose too much light on the spotting scope. It is actually rather dark out here. The camera's picking up a lot of light. Also, what do you guys think about the new logo? Big shout out to Shane, one of my viewers. He did that up for me and sent it to me, and I think I'm going to use it from here on out. And here we go. You know what? Let me put another one right here. All right, nothing touching the barrel. We're free floating. I'll go a little slower. I think I pulled that one. 6. We did 6. And empty. So guys, you can see the accuracies there for something that's just enables you to have a lot of fun. You're looking at about $600 for one of these to get the MELB system, and then you're looking at your $200 tax stamp. So about $800. And you got to figure out the price of the rifle, but most of us already have a 1022. But I'm telling you, just switching it over is just so cool, so fast. I'll tell you what I'll do is, just so you guys can hear how quiet this is, I do have some steels out there at 100. It should be, without running velocities or anything, we're probably going to be somewhere around 2 mils or so on a semi. So let's see if we can do this. Turn the power down a little bit, and here we go, 2 mils. We'll go for a smaller target and even smaller. Man, that's so quiet. That's actually really cool. All right, so I wanted to get you guys that velocity on this Lapua super long range. Now I know on both of the rifles it's going to vary somewhere around 1,000 to about 1080 feet per second or so. So I am going to try out a new device. I want to give a big shout out to H&W Guns and Tactical, Bradley Willie. You guys asked about the speed tracker, but not only do I have the speed tracker Mach 4, but I also have the newest, latest, greatest one. If you're looking for one of these and it's in your budget, because it's going to run you about $1,000, they've done some modifications to them. I don't know if this has been released yet, but it has a new parabolic lens on the front. It's supposed to work really, really well. I haven't actually used this thing. All I did was upload the app on the phone, and in order to use this device, you're going to have to download the Bullet Seeker M4 for Mach 4 app. You're going to click on it, and what it's going to show you is it's actually going to show connect with red. So all we have to do is take the Bullet Seeker, press the single button. That's all there is on this. Press it, 1 second, release it. And now that it's on, you just hit connect up here at the top. And what this should do is, yep, there it goes. It's first time I'm using it, 0 feet per second. I haven't even read the owner's manual. Supposedly it will talk to you, but all you have to do is attach this by either an ARCA or a Picatinny. So I've got the Ruger here. We're just going to put it on the bottom. That should work where the bipod was. And I'm just going to get a velocity. So let me go ahead and load up the magazine with a couple rounds out of this box. Make sure I don't drop anything. And if this works, especially because we don't have any real distance here, you know, up here at the top I've got 50 yards, but I've got to go all the way to the back, and I'm just trying to do this rather quickly. We'll do 5 shots, we'll see, and I want to see in the comments, what do you guys estimate the speed will be? Because remember, we're only dealing with about a 10-12 inch barrel, and then we have those baffles somewhere in there. And I'm interested to see. I'd like to see it above 1,000 feet per second, but who knows? All right, so here this is. I'll show you after each shot. Here we go.
1,058.6.
1,058.
1,076.2.
Not really losing any velocity. 1,076. That's in that good target range of under 1,100 feet per second.
1,085.5.
Dang, 1,085, 86.
1,072.9.
And last one.
1,062.2.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty cool because you're able to see all the data right here. Everything from the minimum was 1059, maximum 1086, standard deviation was 10 with an average of 1071. Now, I'm not doing a full review on this right now. I'm actually, when I head out to Vegas, I'm going to be doing some shooting of centerfire. I'm going to take this with me and see how well it works because I'm testing on a rimfire right now, but I'll give you a full review of what I think about the new Mach 4 or that Mark IV. It is very convenient. I did have a line on an Andy scan. However, just the way you have to purchase that thing, you go online, you purchase it. A friend of mine has one, says he loves it, but the thing is, it's, you know, it's still a 3D printed housing. You pay the money, which is going to be equivalent to about the same. It goes overseas to Czechoslovakia somewhere, and then somewhere 3 to 4 months, no communication, it just pops up. and shows up. So while I do think it's nice, I'm not the guy that's really willing to risk sending $850 overseas not knowing. I know that they're probably legit at this point, but you know, I do like some type of communication. So let's go ahead and test it on the 1022 and see what kind of velocities we get with that same ammo we just shot. So now we're going to try the 1022. Now, what I like about this stock is it does have some M-LOK slots here because you have to have some type of attachment point. So something like a Picatinny or a Arca Swiss, something that's an adapter that will go into this M-LOK. So I simply put an M-LOK Picatinny on here. I haven't even tried this, so I want to see if it kind of lines up or how this thing works, because I have heard that sometimes you don't get readings, or at least that's what I heard about the old one. So before I drop this, let me go ahead and open this up. All right, so we're on here, we're attached. And actually, it hitting the dirt is actually louder than the shot itself. That's how quiet these integral suppressors are. So here we go.
1082.3.
1082, right in that sweet spot. Like it.
1057. 1037.9. 1035.3. 1029.9.
And that is it. We are out. So our average on that was 1048. So it is a little bit slower with that same ammunition, shooting it out of the 1022. Standard deviation was 19. So a little bit of variance on that, but still it worked very, very well, and that's super simple to get your velocities. I am going to compare it to a magneto speed when I do the full review of that speed tracker. Once again, if you're looking for one of the only dealers I know in the country is going to be that H&W Guns and Tactical. Just check them out. Bradley Willie is his name. So what I want to do is show you some of the baffles. Now, YouTube, I'm not disassembling this. It is not showing the internals of a suppressor coming out of a gun or anything else. I'm just going to show you the tool. So basically, every one of the MELB suppressors ships with this little tool here. And basically, it's just an aluminum tool that has prongs on it. And the prong goes into the end cap, and you can unscrew it. So you can see here, you can just use a socket or you can use just an adjustable. You're going to unscrew it, and then you have hash marks here to tell you the depth of those. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to show you some of the baffles. All right, so basically that's what an end cap looks like, and this interfaces on the end of it like this, okay, with those little teeth. And then what you're going to do is just insert this into the barrel, and then you have your baffles that look like this. You'll see that it's cut just like a tap, so it will clear that carbon out of there. And this basically interfaces like this, and you go all the way down the first one to the first line, then the next one, then the next one, the next one. And if you are going to take your baffles out, I recommend you taking a drill. It'll make your life a lot easier and faster than sitting here and just turning this. But either way works. You can do it by hand usually when they get loose, even if you neglect them, because it does cut that carbon out of there. All right, I know it was a really short, quick video, but I hope you guys enjoyed that of the AB suppressors, the MELB, Mission Enhanced Little Bird. I think it's a great addition to any of your Ruger rifles. I think it's a really, really good option if you're in a state that allows them, and it's one of the most cost-effective suppressors out there, still utilizing a match barrel. Then you get a little bit of boost from the suppressor, but all in all, it's not bad. But remember, this isn't for PRS or NRL 22, although you could do it for like NRL 22 or PRS if you wanted to do that from the rimfire. It's just I never recommended a suppressor for those type of competitions. These are both factory guns with factory triggers. There's been no modifications to them other than changing out the stock and changing out those barrels. So guys, I hope you have a really, really good weekend. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head out to Vegas, and then I'm going to be doing some shooting out there, meeting up with a gentleman. We're going to be shooting some Accuracy Internationals, and then I head immediately down to Texas for a thermal hog hunt. So I'll be able to get you some footage of that with the manufacturer that's going to be new to the market here, and we want to see how those work. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Big shout out to my Patreon sponsors, and we will talk to you soon. Guys, have a good one.